It was pretty damn impressive. I'm sure when I watch the tape, it'll even look better. That play that he made on the interception was one of the more impressive plays I've seen from a D lineman. Thought he should have scored, but it's always nice when they don't and they let the offense score too, so it was all right.
It's our guy Kyle Shanahan heaping praise on Nick Bosa, Defensive Rookie of the Year so far. Richard Sherman has made the case for Nick Bosa to be Defensive Player of the Year. He was dominant on Sunday. 3 sacks and an interception. 3 interceptions would have been more impressive. 3 sacks and an interception for Nick Bosa. Okay, it's Sunday statement draft time. I've got the trivia question to determine the first pick in the draft, Chris. And here is the question. Russell Wilson is in his 8th season and threw his 213th touchdown pass on Sunday. Only 2 quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League have thrown more touchdowns in their first 8 seasons. Name one of them.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. No.
Darn it.
He was on the bench for 3 seasons.
You're right. I'm totally
dummy.
You're right.
Peyton Manning, Dan Marino.
Damn it.
You are so
that was so
smitten.
easy.
You were so
And I knew it was Peyton Manning, too, and I just went with Aaron Rodgers because it was in last night.
3 seasons on the bench will make it hard to throw 213 in your first 8 years.
Yes.
All right, I get the first pick. I was going to go Nick Bosa, but we just talked about Nick Bosa. Let me go Tevin Coleman.
Okay.
4 touchdowns for Tevin Coleman. 100 yards rushing. Now, it helped that Matt Breida got banged up a little bit, but Tevin Coleman's a guy we just kind of forgot about, right? But this was the guy, remember, in Atlanta, he was the backup to Devontae Freeman, but Kyle Shanahan loved him, got an opportunity to get him, went and got him, and now he is a heck of a weapon for that 49ers multifaceted, multi-headed run game.
Right.
Most teams need a workhorse. They don't. They just plug and play, and off they go. And it's amazing that he's gotten these guys who are selfless, who buy into the system, who know the playbook, and Coleman knows it from his time in Atlanta.
Yes.
And Coleman coming in and making an impact with 4 touchdowns on the game, which played big in that 51-13 route.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're missing their starting right tackle. They're missing their fullback and Juszczyk. I mean, but it's kind of running back by committee, and you don't know where they're going to hit you next between him, Breida, some of the cool, we saw the Deebo Samuel, whatever you want to call that, fake toss, inside handoff to the wide receiver who runs up the middle of the field. Shanahan on fire with run game design, and then he's got some talented guys that can run with the rock.
And all that money they paid to Jerick McKinnon when he became a free agent out of Minnesota, he hasn't even played a game yet. He's never made it to the start of a regular season, and they still are getting it done impressively in the run game.
Don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if we'll ever see Jerick McKinnon really with the 49ers at this point. They're kind of set at the running back position. All right, I'm going to go with Drew Brees. This is my first statement. Johnny Thumb exercise, he showed us why he was doing all those damn thumb exercises on TV and everything. He was... To be able to come back and just go, oh, yeah, no big deal. I'll go 34 for 43 for 373 and 3 touchdowns. Just amazing. It really is. I don't care if you're Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, John Elway, whoever it is. When you miss 5 or 6 weeks of football, usually you come back with a little rust. And, he just seemed like it was, just another Sunday. And he'd been out here the whole year and nothing had ever happened. I'm just amazed by that in general. He's just so accurate with some of the short to intermediate passes. On this play here, gives Michael Thomas just the chance to run after the catch, can just dissect you with his brain and knowing where to go with the football. But I think he reminded us, everybody, that, hey, Teddy Bridgewater's really good, but we're a little bit better when Drew Brees is in there, and the Saints are certainly a more scary Super Bowl contender with Drew Brees at the helm.
Yeah, Michael Thomas told me after the game that there's no difference when it's Drew Brees or Teddy Bridgewater on the field. That's the mentality. But he said, I never take for granted being in the huddle with a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
And Brees is back, and the Saints never went away. 5-0 without him. Impressive on Sunday with him, and now they have 2 weeks to get ready for their next game, which is a visit from the Atlanta Falcons. All right, next one for me. Boy, I can go a lot of different directions here. Yeah. I think I would like to go with Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
I'm impressed by what Cooper Kupp did
Sure.
in London. You sound like you're from London. 220 receiving yards through 2.5 quarters. They stopped going to him, but this guy is just quietly becoming one of the best receivers in the NFL. Not flashy. Coming, and, when you have that torn ACL, they say it takes 2 years before you're back to who you are. He tore the ACL last year. He's been great this season. With Brandon Cooks now suffering his 4th concussion since Super Bowl 52, Kupp may have to become the guy in that passing attack. And if the Rams are going to pull themselves back into this race in the NFC West, or at a minimum for a wild card berth, because they're on the outside looking in right now, they're going to need more performances from guys like Cooper Kupp. So Kupp, very, very impressive in London. They went over on Friday. It didn't matter. They stayed in Atlanta all week.
Yeah.
It's just a well-oiled machine. And, they lost those 3 games in a row, and a lot of us wanted to just write them off. They're going to be a factor. They're going to be a factor down the stretch. And again, it's a hell of a game of musical chairs in the NFC, because there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 great teams that don't get in.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. I mean, the Rams, again, this is the way they're going to have to win this year. That's what you're seeing, I think, more than anything. To your point with Cooper Kupp and phenomenal day he had yesterday, Jared Goff and the passing game are going to have to win it. The Rams are not the run team that we've seen the last 2 years. When they went to the Super Bowl, the year before that, when they lost in the NFC wildcard game, they were really, truly run game. And, during that time, I was looked at as the Jared Goff hater, because everyone's like, he's a top 5 quarterback. And I was like, whoa, pump the brakes. He's not. But now they lose a few games this year, and everyone's like, oh, Jared Goff, he's not good. He's below average. No, that's not true either. So I fight that stupid narrative. Jared Goff is really good quarterback. He's somewhere, for me, outside the top 10, but they're going to have to continue to rely on him to win football games, because they're not going to be able to run the ball, it doesn't look like, this year. And I even thought through the 3 losses, other than the 49er game, who the 49ers are going to make a lot of people look ugly, and I don't care who was at quarterback that day. It wasn't going to be easy. Goff has played pretty damn good football, and I give him credit there. All right, my next pick, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going with a full team, because that was a full team statement what they did up in Buffalo yesterday. I mean, I wanted to talk about the O-line and the run game, and okay, yeah, great. But damn, their defense was dominant too. And to go up to Buffalo, we know it's a tough place to play. The Bills, yes, 6 or 5-1 going into the matchup, one of the best defenses in football. The Eagles just made it happen as a team in general. One, causing a turnover, on Josh Allen's little quarterback design run. I think it was on like a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 3. He runs it out to the right. They strip him. Ball comes out. Wentz throws a touchdown to Dallas Goedert a few plays later, and the game never really seemed to be the same from that point on. But I think the Eagles, their defensive front dominated the football game in a lot of ways. Their offensive line dominated the trenches and the run game, and they made a statement to say, watch out, because if we play like this, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with once again in the NFC.
I mean, I'm impressed by the fact that the Eagles play so well when their backs are against the wall, but I'm disheartened by the fact that they don't play better until their backs are against the wall. Right? And they had all this other stuff that was closing in on them, and comments from Orlando Scandrick, and dysfunction with Malcolm Jenkins and Carson Wentz, and unnamed sources, and Doug Peterson last week with the guarantee that wasn't a guarantee, and they got splattered by the Cowboys. I wish it didn't have to take it to that point where, I would have liked it better if you'd made a specific, there's plenty of choices of somebody from the team who made a statement.
Yeah, well, I don't care what you like. This is my pick, and you can shove it.
I don't like you.
Sorry.
Do you care about that? Does it bother you that I don't like you?
No, because I know you do. You can't hide it.
All right, here's a guy I like, and I know the Jaguars fans like him. Gardner the Ginsu Minshew.
Yeah.
They lose. He was hot early, and then they lose a game or two, and we forget about. Look, Minshew was great yesterday.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just the Jets. But Gardner Minshew's a 6th-round rookie who was thrust into the fray week 1, and now we're getting close to the point where Nick Foles is going to be ready to go. And Doug Marrone, the coach of the Jaguars, said today he's not worrying about the decision until he has to, and that basically fits with what I was told yesterday, that they're trying to kick this can as long as they can. They don't want to have to make a decision. There are business reasons to put Nick Foles on the field. They gave him a lot of money.
Sure.
And they're already paying Blake Bortles. They didn't pay Blake Bortles a lot of money this year. They paid him a lot of money last year.
Right.
They're taking the cap hit this year, and they don't have Bortles. They're going to have the cap hit and the money given to Nick Foles, and he's going to be standing on the sideline. But Minshew, what a bargain, a 6th-round pick on a rookie wage scale contract for 3 years, and they're making money off of him. They love him in Jacksonville.
Yes, they do.
I mean, you need to get people to be willing to show up. And every once in a while, when we're watching the games on Sunday, we see the wide shot of the stadium. it looked like more people in Jacksonville than I'm used to seeing in Jacksonville at a Jaguars game.
Well, he brings an exciting brand of football. I mean, do I think it's a little overblown and overhyped at times just because of his mustache and, the way he looks? Yes, I do. But yesterday was not one of those moments. I mean, he made some plays yesterday. And the part of the reasons they had, a good day offensively was because of him and his talents. And of course, they have a really good running back in Leonard Fournette. Okay, I'm not sure where I want to go. I think I want to go like Adam Vinatieri because he's still made a statement, but I think I'm going to go with Matt Stafford, okay? We haven't talked about that game, and Matt Stafford played phenomenal. And just for everybody out there, Matt Stafford's played phenomenal the whole year. He's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in football. And, we talk about the culture change he had to adjust to last year and everything. Well, he's adjusted this year. And with them going through the running game, but his ability still is top-notch. I mean, this is one of the greatest throwers we ever seen in the NFL. And he's been on fire. He's been playing really good football, completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, whatever. He is helping this team and makes them dangerous. And, yeah, they're not one of the most talented teams in the NFC, but he gives them a chance to compete or beat anybody on a given Sunday because of his talents and the way he's playing right now.
And that wasn't an easy win for the Lions because they had a week of dysfunction. They traded Quandre Diggs. Multiple guys were upset about it. Darius Slay ended up inactive for the game. He would not let it go. This was a test of the ability of Matt Patricia to get this situation under control, reverse a 3-game losing streak. They did both.
Well, they trade him.
He's apparently on the block now.
I would think so.
Available.
I mean, I would think the Eagles might be calling him right now. The Eagles might be calling Detroit.
Well, and here's the thing. You got to ask yourself, can you – and every coach thinks I can manage a guy who was previously unmanageable. I can do it. Nobody else can. I can. Or I don't need to manage him this year. I just need to get through the season with some help, and he'll be fine this year. It won't be until next year that we have to really try to manage Darius Slay. But he could be available, and plenty of guys potentially available as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline coming up tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Tevin Coleman, Cooper Kupp, Gardner Minshew. My choice is Drew Brees. The entire Eagles organization.
Yes.
Everybody, ticket takers, the people who sell the program, and then Matthew Stafford.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.